Well, I have to admit, that was the first that I can remember, first pleasant experience coming through Pearson Airport, maybe ever, for me, ever. I landed, walked right up to customs, an access card, got a ticket, they stamped it, and I was gone in 5 minutes. It was refreshing and shocking because I thought there was no shot on earth that I would make race 1 at Mohawk, and I was concerned I might not make race 3, and instead I'm going to make both. So that was good. A good start to the day, a little sleep in. Opted for a little later flight rather than the 6 a.m. flight. It didn't get me home till 11 o'clock in the morning anyway with a connection. So it's not like I was anything going on at the burn at 11 o'clock in the morning. So I opted for the flight that would get me home for 5 o'clock. And that's exactly what took place. So pretty happy with the way things have... I'm not here yet. I see a little traffic ahead, so I guess I'm not there yet. But pretty happy thus far about how things took place, today being Monday. A lot of people asking what was still going on with your account. Last I checked, it was supposed to be fixed, but it is 6/24 and it is not. So I think this is on me because I took at face value it would be fixed and did not call the branch as I was flying. I never got any calls from the branch, so I thought everything was on schedule. It's, as I said, it looks like tomorrow morning. It will be resolved tomorrow because I'm in Ontario now and I'll be at the bank at 9 o'clock in the morning. It will be resolved. For my partners and people looking to pay me, I truly apologize for the people waiting for me to pay them. Apologies also, but it will be rectified in the morning. First thing, now, I had a great conversation with a number of clients last night. As you know, we have horses that are going to be eligible for consolations and stallion series and Buckeyes and sire stake finals. We've been fortunate in that regard, and I wanted to get a handle on exactly what we were going to do. What's our game plan moving forward? Most particularly is the stallion series right now. Now, we're going to talk about in the coming days, trying to get Coupe de Ville in the Stallion Series or Buckeye Series consolation, and potentially the consolation for the Sire Stakes. Looking to do something similar with Smoking Hot Irish Girl. Looking to do a number of things like that. So the one that I found the most interesting. And I'll call it our analytics department because we always have a number of clients out there that are on top of this stuff. And although I roughly know, they do know because they crunched all the numbers. And it looks like Lonely Lakewood, now hear me out, Lonely Lakewood is actually going to race in the Sire Stakes on Saturday. Now, I'll preface this by saying my brother Mark McDonald is going to drive Crantini. He's finished second with him the only time he drove him, and actually Crantini's been pretty reserved. Now we have the added addition of Lazex. I'm not going to say he's going to go out and do good. These are good horses, but he is racing for $200,000 on Saturday, and Mark's on a bit of a heater. He set a track record today at Monticello with a trotter of Aki Svansted's. He's going to drive Kierkegaard in the top division of the Beal on Saturday. So I was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. One decision we made last night was Memory and Imagination is not racing Saturday in Pennsylvania. He's going to race Sunday in Kentucky because theoretically, because the A division may come down to, and there's no cakewalk, there'll be some killers in there, but it may come down to one division again or two light divisions. A favorable showing in Kentucky likely end him up in the final in Kentucky going for 400, and he's already earned a berth. It's not a lock, but it's pretty much a lock, I think, in the Sire Stakes here in Pennsylvania. You would have to have all the horses behind him do extremely well in the next Sire Stakes, and that's unlikely. So what we're aiming to do is get Memory and Imagination, potentially, hopefully, in Kentucky. I think he'd love that track too. Get him in the Kentucky final. And now the timing for everything is fine because he was going to have to race back 6 days in Pennsylvania. I didn't love that idea. He's going to have an easy week. It is a long ship from New Jersey to Kentucky, but he's a pretty good shipper. Pretty cool customer in that regard. So we're going to ship him into Kentucky. Megan's going to race him. Scotty's going to drive him in the A division, I hope, on Sunday afternoon in Kentucky. And then Now, as I say that, I wonder if Scotty has a conflict. I'll talk to Scotty about that. Now, in regards to, we have Memory and Imagination, who, if we're lucky and all the stars align, could make the final in Kentucky. Pickpocket, it looks, with that win, he should be able to make the final of the B division. And then even in the C division, we'll have Militant, who will be present. So represented pretty good if everything goes right in Kentucky. Now, the reason for Lonely Lakewood going to the Sires is he would have to win to have a shot at making the Stallion Series. And if he did, that would mean we have 3 horses in the Stallion Series final. Not a very productive final for $50,000. It would make much more sense, as he does have a few points already in the Sire Stakes, to try and get his way into that $40,000 Sire Stake consolation, which makes much more sense for us. And again, this is all hopeful that these horses race good. You're not going to go in there, finish last, and say, oh, thank God we made it in. They still have to be on their toes and race good. So the plan is to race him in the Sire Stakes on Saturday, coming off a pretty good win, and make the Sires consolation. That's the plan for Lonely Lakewood, as it looks like Activation is locked in his he might even still be the leader, but he's definitely locked in his stamped his ticket to the final of the Sire Stakes. And Vaquero Blue Chip is there also, I believe, but if I'm reading it right, he's around 7th or 8th. He has to pick up some points on Saturday too. So with all this stuff going on, it made more sense to me to say, I'm going to stay and race the horses in Pennsylvania, the 2-year-olds. Mark can go and drive Crantini in the Poconos. You know, Crantini's go the right way of the track with him, kind of feed him into the gate. He's not as tricky as he used to be. Feed him into the gate. And, you know, with as I said, with this addition of Lasix, could get lucky with Crantini, who knows? And then Brace for Landing did also get in the C division. We put Scotty on Brace because he kind of screwed up. You know, he had to drive Brace. He was listed on another horse, but because Megan is his fiance or live-in girlfriend, sure, because the judges are going to make him drive Brace for Landing. So it was only fair. They're not going to allow him to race against Megan. So I thought it was only fair that he drove Brace for Landing also. So Brace drew into the C division going for 100. Crantini drew into the B division going for 200. I'm going to stay in the Meadows and race the horses there, make sure everything goes right there, because we still have a lot on the line as it comes to Pennsylvania, a lot of unfinished business, so to speak, in Pennsylvania. The day after, Memory and Imagination will race in Kentucky, so we'll Pickpocket. Hopefully Scotty can drive both of those. Well, as I keep saying his name in Kentucky, I'm concerned that may not happen after all, but we'll see. We got to wait and see how the draw shakes out. Today, I know a lot of people heartbroken, really don't care, made the break behind the gate. Ugh. So she's going to earn some pants, just like Lonely Lakewood. I'm going to have Joe Moore ship her back to us right away because Northfield's closed. Us may mean the Meadows. She has a stake coming up on the 20-something. We'll get her raced. That's where that went. I was looking for that. We'll get her raced in the Vernon race. I was tinkering with the idea of taking, even if she finishes out the season okay, she does have additional stuff, but she has to show more to go into it. So I'm hoping that we can put the hobbles on her, snap her head back around, square it on straight, and get her back going, much like we did with Lonely Lakewood last night at the Poconos. And these are all very fluid situations. These are the things that keep me up at night, wondering how are we going to fix this, what went on here, how are we going to change things to make them work. I spoke to Megan, quite frankly, after the race, and she said, listen, the filly's got to go down around Batavia and Vernon. Why don't you guys take her back? So we'll try and get her trained up. Squared away, and then I think you'll probably see her end up at Ryan Swift is who's been doing our work down that way. So we'll thank you. We'll continue on that trajectory with Really Don't Care. No, listen, they're 2-year-old trotters are going to make breaks, right? We rarely, more times than not, we will have horses that struggle from time to time. We have to help pick them back up and help put them back on the right path. And that's my job. That's what I plan on doing here with Really Don't Care also. So, man, we just had so much to talk about. I know I'm missing stuff. Hoping for a good showing tonight from Oakwood Cowboy and White Tiger. Also very hopeful. I think Amy's parked on the other side, isn't she? Bet you she is. Also very, very hopeful that everybody has a good week and trains up good and gets squared away. We didn't get all the horses in at the Meadows we wanted. Obviously, Northfield Park's closed for 13 days, so that box is going to be a little jammed for the next week or so. Hopefully, we can get some more horses in Friday. In Saturday, I'm going to stay there, and then Sunday I will be in the Poconos come hell or high water for our girl Insider Trading, who's sitting 9th, I think, right now in points, if I'm not mistaken. She has to have a good outing. So does Flash Fly, and so does Pull a Shoes. So very important that I am there, and hopefully Scotty can find his way onto our horses Sunday in Kentucky. Now, I apologize. I know the races were canceled today in Michigan, so our girl in Michigan did not get to go. I see Curtis does still not have her on the calendar, so I forgot to mention her last night. Just a lot. As you can see, a lot going on. I literally just landed. I'm here at Mohawk. I'm going to go drive the Oakwood Cowboy, and then Oakwood Cowboy, and then back home for me. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you had we had a great night last night. Could always be better. I said the What a Mission thing ate away at me a little bit. I had somebody saying, hey, Cupid's back in short order. Yeah, you're right, she's back in short order. She made a break last night at the 3/4 pole, and she's going to race in a class at the Meadows because Northfield's closed. So it was either race her Thursday or wait a week and hope she get in next Thursday. But we also have Coupe de Ville looking for classes. We also have Smoking Hot Irish Girl looking for classes and other horses. So there's no guarantees about getting them in and getting them a race. So when it came to, hey, do you want to wait potentially 10 days or more for Cupid Express, or do you want to put the filly that made a break last night back in to go Thursday and you drive her? I went with the latter. I went with door number 2. So no, there's going to be no tears shed. It's not the same situation as JK Mickey Mantle. She was coming in off 2 weeks. She's a little shorter. Last night's not going to hurt her, and it's not going to hurt her on Thursday. So totally different situation with them. In regards to JK Mickey Mantle, and Delicious Stone is scratched tomorrow. We do have some horses that are sick right now. I'm always trying to move all the horses around, trying to keep them healthy, keep them sound, and in the right place, and work with our trainers to do so. And they're doing a good job, but sometimes when they're sick, they do have to miss some time. They do race bad. They do have to come back forward. And we're going to continue to work to get them done. It's a big boat. Big boat. It's hard to steer sometimes. But we are doing the best we can, and hopefully that will show up tonight in tonight's races. So, with that, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you all very soon. Hope you had a wonderful day, a great night, and a better week ahead. Take care.